The interesting story about the Baptist congregation in Jacksonville was that it was integrated. White and black alike congregated into what we know today as Bethel Baptist Church. Pastors Ryan Fry and James McDonald, both white men, are written in history as the first co-pastors of Bethel. After the Civil War, there was a major political, racial, and religious divide between the country. The slaves were free, so the whites within the church became uncomfortable. A legal fight ensued where the black congregation won the rights of Bethel Baptist Church against the white congregation in court. So this same white congregation would later form what we now know today as First Baptist Church of Jacksonville. The racial, religious, and political split in Duval began. Jim Crow laws followed. More whites took on local government positions. The mysterious Great Fire of 1901 started the complete destruction and reconstruction of the black community, all with the help from the black clergy. As black people, we don't fully grasp or understand the importance of culture and exactly what culture specifically is our culture. Culture is beliefs, and beliefs feed emotions, and emotions gives us feelings. And if you have that feeling for a long period of time, this is called a mood. If you're celebrating the wrong culture for a long period of time, you inadvertently will have the wrong mood, the wrong feelings, the wrong emotions, which come from celebrating the wrong beliefs because you have adopted the wrong culture. Now, in the religious culture, it doesn't matter if it's Christianity, Judaism, or Islam. All of these cultures are built off of belief. And what is this belief? It's science. Science is a belief system built off theories. You have the theory of evolution, the speed of light theory, the theory of relativity, the theory of gravity, the Big Bang theory. Theories are not facts. By definition, they are not facts. So in hindsight, our culture, our beliefs are built off theories. Uncertainty. So we're going to have uncertain moods, uncertain feelings, uncertain emotions because we have an uncertain culture. In summation, we practice rituals and ceremonies without knowing their origins and who created them. These practices strip us away from our true spirit, which conquers our discipline to be in tune with the universe and nature, our true spirituality system that is family. We are celebrating a bastardized version of our spirituality, which keeps us mentally and emotionally binded to another people and their culture.
When I usually talk about this subject with my peers, the questions most asked is, what were we worshiping prior to Christianity then? Pan-Africans, they like to say our true spirituality is Ma'at. Ma'at is the concept of truth, justice, reciprocity, balance, harmony, and compassion. Ma'at in nature is a feminine practice. A good practice, but that's just half of our true spirituality. Ma'at principles come out of Upper Egypt. For most of my adult life, I thought Egypt was the cradle of civilization. It wasn't. So that means there was a system of knowledge prior to the dynastic and pre-dynastic periods. In order to be whole, you have to embrace the male principle and the female principle as one. Nothing cannot be created without the male and female principle. We first must understand that completely. Creation, or being a creator, is when man and woman comes together and bring forth life. That is a creator. Our God or the gods are androgynous. When I say androgynous, I don't mean in the sexual organ standpoint. I'm saying everything is masculine and feminine energy. Having both gives you the ability to create. Who do we call God? The creator. So a God, by definition, is androgynous. Because in order for you to create, you must have both masculine and feminine energy. Divine masculine and feminine energy. Our greatest proof of God is our own ability to come together, conceive, and create life. Everything is male, female, but you call it a duality. everything is male, female. You have to understand the nature of masculine and feminine energy to understand your soul.
See, everything has an art and a science. Music is an art, but it's also mathematics. Dancing is an art, but it's mathematics. Every art has a science. Every science has an art. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot. We call it the male and female principle in African science. Science is the male principle. Art, spirituality, creativity is the female principle. You cannot have one without the other. You can have a positive and negative on a battery. The only way the battery can work is you've got to have them both, the male and female principle, positive, negative, yin and yang, whatever you want to call it. You cannot have one without the other. That's the way African science works, under the male and female principle. That's how we do it. But what is happening is you're being controlled by male-dominated medicine. Worse, Greek homosexual male-dominated medicine. Somebody told you there's only one science, their biology, their chemistry. That's like telling you it's one language, one dance, one race, one flower, one tree in the world, and you know it's a lie. Whoever told you it's one biology lied to you. That's African biology. There's African chemistry based on the male and female principle. You can't have one without the other. It takes two to tango. The theory of evolution. Get a grip. You were made by God. You don't come from no monkey. Give me a break. That's European science. If they want to come from a monkey, let them. The monkey got a flat behind, they got a. The monkey can wiggle his ears, they can. The monkey has limp hair, they have. You shave a monkey is white, they are. So who came from the monkey?
When we are celebrating spiritual systems that is against our culture, we are revolving. We're not evolving. You know, we are different from others. You know this. You can see it with the color of our skin, the texture of our hair, how we prepare food, how we dance, how we sing, our ingenuity. We take negatives and make positives. They call this conversion reaction. We're the only people that can be able to do that. We transcend the arts. We force cultures to adopt and copy our gifts. We are the gods. So in retrospect, we are following a people who are following us. So that makes us go in a circle. Revolving, not evolving.
Melanin is a word that was used to describe a certain biological function. But that particular identification or category or thing, melanin, is a European identification of what they think activates those neurons in our body. What is found in the body that is attributed to melanin is carbon. Carbon not only determines the quality of life in black folks, carbon determines the quality of life in every living plant that exists that is natural. If carbon is absent, there's no life.
Carbon is the real word for melanin. Carbon is a change agent. It allows you to create. It's a spiritual agent. It allows you to be civil and humane. The less carbon or melanin content you have, the less spiritual you are. The less intuitive you are. The less humane you are. You don't have the ability to change or be creative without it. We are solar people with a soul that rests in your abdomen area. They call it a celiac plexus or solar plexus. Check those wordings, solar plexus. The ganglion nerves in that solar plexus area for black people triples every other race. It's where you get those gut feelings from, as you call it. That's the universe speaking through you. Carbon allows you to taste food better. You see colors more vividly. You absorb sound and frequencies better. Your ability to touch is bar none. Carbon allows this. This is what carbon allows. You know, nobody can feel, touch, hear, and see better than carbon, aka melanated people. Nobody can taste the food like we taste it. Nobody can see the colors more vividly like we see them. No one can feel like we feel. That is carbon doing it. Black people have carbon clusters, not shock. You have 320 carbon clusters resting in this solar plexus area in your digestive tract alone. Other races have 40. Pseudo-spirituality has you believing you only have 7 carbon or chakras. Some of them say 9, some of them say 12. They don't know what they're talking about. They just throw numbers out there. Black people have carbon clusters everywhere. They call them energy centers. There are clusters in your hands, clusters in your feet, clusters in your areolas around your breasts. You have 3 in your head, the pituitary, the pineal, and the hypothalamus. The Greeks referenced these in their mythology, the 3 little pigs, the 3 blind mice, the 3 bears, the 3 wise men. These were folklore stories told to distinguish the 3 mental organs in your head. Remember, the pineal, the hypothalamus, and the pituitary are not glands for black people. They are organs. You have 12 carbon clusters at your brain stem. Every other race has 2. In science, they call these clusters melanin reticulum formations. We are solar people. We live in a solar system. What were you before they label you Negro or Black or African? You are a descendant of God, carbon God. The entire solar system is created in carbon liquid, carbon solids, and carbon gas. The black body is a direct reflection of the solar system. I've been telling people for years, most carbon black people have a soul. Everybody else are spirits. They are carbon copies, not the real thing. But it's strange because recently Roseanne Barr had a rant about this same exact subject, and she was right on.
Not everybody here on this planet has a soul. In fact, a lot of them are just projections of program, and that's all they care about is regurgitating the program that they have been created by artificial intelligence to spout, because they don't have any real intelligence. And how you tell the difference is a human being has the ability to change.
Carbon is a change agent.
And a messenger cannot change. A messenger has a different soul than a human being. The messengers are here, program artificial intelligence. The messengers are here to tempt and sway people who have souls. And they do it quite effectively.
So in essence, we are everything. Everybody doesn't have the divine male and feminine, and we need both to actualize our destiny. You see, sweet and sour, that's feminine and masculine. Fruit and vegetables, feminine and masculine. Alkaline and acid, feminine and masculine. Positive and negative, love and hate, upper and downer, fast and slow, on and off, cocaine, heroin. These are male and female principles, can be. The black family is the most ostracized. There's a deliberate agenda to destroy the black family because they know when we are together and we are in unison, oh, we are a threat. We are a threat to society when we are together and we are in unison. So what they do is they have engineered a system to have us infighting. So the black family can never get back together like we supposed to and become the gods that we're supposed to. I had a friend that once told me, he made a lot of sense. He was like, man, we are in God school. And a lot of us are keep failing, so we keep coming back into this life after we die, and that's called reincarnation. You need to really, really study about reincarnation and really understand that, because if we are the only beings on this planet who adapt and regenerate with the sun is our solar energy. You and I are not on this world to praise and exalt false gods. You are here to evolve and become a higher dimension of yourself. If you're not evolving, you're revolving. And revolving is simply a repeated process, never spiritually growing. Learn your culture. You must actualize yourself as a god. Religions are tools of oppression, and whomsoever teaches it is an usher of oppression.
The bell curve explains one thing. We are inferior when it comes to thinking. I don't give a damn what you say. A nigga is inferior when it comes to thought process. But we just talking about black people in general. They are very inferior, whereas we can't even fathom the possibility of anything outside of what the structure is. What I mean by the structure is go to work, come home, go to sleep, talk about music, talk about sports, talk about relationships, talk about your job, and talk about everything the TV got. Anything on another level, you can't deal with it. It's like a program. It's like they can't even comprehend anything outside of the structure of what the America says is.